You know, I don't know how many Super Sports I'm going to own, but I figure an R6 is a great way to test those waters. I didn't spend much on it. Could probably sell it this fall if I don't enjoy it as much as I think I'm gonna, and get my money back out of it pretty easily. So anyway, something that really pisses. I love forums. First of all, they are great resources for they're great resources for riders, for people to do it yourself. They're looking to solve a problem that where riders can share. Oh, I had found this solution to the uncomfortable seat, or I use these turn blinkers, but they're no good as running lights, and then I found these, so that other riders don't have to make the same mistakes. But this pisses me off to no end about forums. And I get that they got to make $1, and they're just, you know, trying to pay for their, you know, whatever the costs are associated with running a forum. And I don't mean to discount that, because I'm sure there are some, and they put time into it. So, Lord knows I don't mind the guy making a buck. I guess my issue is, though, a lot of these guys, they have forum vendors, and they'll allow them to sell on the forum, and the forum guy, everybody who buys on the forum generally gets a discount, and that's awesome. But here's what gets me. Certain forums, as soon as they get, let's say, a new vendor selling an upgraded headlight, and headlights of every bike ever made are the worst headlights ever on any forum that you go on, okay? No matter what bike you're riding. I've been a member of 3 different make model forums for 3 different bikes I've owned, and every bike's had the worst headlight in the history of mankind, or at least in its class. Okay, and so one of the forums, they've got a vendor that sells this HID upgrade, and one of them has a projector upgrade, and that's fine. But they just push these things to every new member that comes in. It's like, hey, I got a bike, you know, and I love my new bike. What mods do I, you know, need to make? And when I catch those guys, this is one I'll post and go, don't ask that. Get out and ride your bike and see what you like about it and what you don't like about it. The FC has a pretty crummy headlight stock, not because of the headlight itself, but because of the way it comes aimed from the factory. I don't know why, but they aim it way too low. In fact, I have a do-it-yourself video, I'll put right here, that shows how to adjust it, and it really makes a huge difference. What I ended up doing with my headlight to make it a lot better, more than good enough for me, is I put an Osram Night Racer bulb in it, which is like, I think I spent $25 and I got 2 of them. I might have spent 30 bucks. But it's a straight H4 halogen, so it's like to like. All you do is pull out the old one, plug in the new one. Okay, you don't need to change any wiring or cut holes in the housing of your headlight, or I mean, in so many HID kits you gotta squeeze a fan in there and all that. And then, well, I'm gonna go on a rant here, aren't I? I'm not gonna go on a rant here. So I'm not a big fan of the HIDs. I mean, I'm sure there's some that are really well made and work great, but basically the problem comes with HIDs is you're putting an HID light in a housing that's designed for an incandescent. So my thing is if you're that interested in upgrading your headlight, and then, so when you put the HID in, and it's not adjusted properly, you get shadows in your light pattern and you get high spots, and you're probably blinding oncoming traffic. She's just like, don't do that to your headlights. Try to make what you got. Well, I guess that's what I'm getting at, is try to make what you got first. One of the big criticisms of the FZ07 is its front suspension. And I see why. It's soft. It's not good. I mean, relative to what, I guess, is relative to the R6. It's not good at all. Okay? In my humble opinion, though, replacing the front springs and dialing up the preload for a guy my size, who's about 200 pounds, is more than adequate. I got the preload set at 8, and I've got Sonic 0.9 springs in the front. Now, does it have rebound and damping and all that? No, it doesn't. I'm sorry, I don't. I'm going to put Sonic springs in the front. I've not done that yet. So, does it have rebound and damping compression and all that? No, it doesn't. And it never will without buying one of those aftermarket kits. When you look at these aftermarket kits that certain forums are pushing, and the damn things are like $1,500, $2,500. Okay, so here's the thing. The FZ07 is a $7,000 bike. Why would, I mean, to me, if you're not happy with the suspension on it, and you love everything else about the bike, okay, go ahead and spend $2,000 on suspension upgrades. But before you do that, I would try to find a way to make cheap changes to it. You know, you can put a set of Sonic springs in the front forks of the FZ07. Springs themselves, I think, they're less than $100. They might be $90, they might be $95, they might be $85. Well, wouldn't you at least want to try that? I mean, the only issue I have with the front suspension on the FZ is the dive when I brake. And it's not that big an issue. Hell, I've been riding the damn thing for 15,000 miles. It's a great bike. Yeah. Don't go crazy on your mods on your bike without trying some cheap mods, is all I'm getting at. And don't listen to what the guys that are on the forums that are trying to sell the product, they're trying to push their products, tell you, you're wasting your time with anything but this. Bullshit. Most of us riders out here on the street, they're just riding for fun, have a good time, blast with our friends, and hit an occasional track day, do not need an Olin shock. We don't need a fully adjustable set of front forks from Olin's, okay? We don't need that stuff. So anyway, that's my thought of the day. And here's the thing about expensive mods that really is what it comes down to for me. I almost did some of that stuff because I did have some gripes with the front suspension. I heard how it would transform the bike. Well, if I'd spent $3,000 on the suspension of this bike and $500 on a power commander and an ECU reflash, and then a few $100s more, okay, at a shop to get it dyno tuned, because you got to do that once you mess with the fuel mapping, I would have $4,000 less, and I wouldn't have my R6 right now. And I guess that's my point. Like, don't go too crazy with your mod money. Like, if there's things about your bike that aren't the best, don't try to turn an FZ07 into a Gixxer. What you need to do is save your money and see if you can live with the shortcomings of the FZ07, which I can. It's not a perfect bike, but it's a cool bike. And then get you another bike. Get you another bike. Yeah, just be frugal with your mod money. So anyways, look, it's a Broom Kitty mobile. You guys have a good one. Talk to you soon. Get out and ride.